Hey everyone, before we get into today's video, we have a new donation link. It's down in the description. If you're so inclined, we very much appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get to today's video.
This week was Storm Week, and the card you all voted for was Tendrils of Agony, a 4-drop sorcery from Scourge. Tendrils of Agony reads, target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It also features the Storm mechanic, which allows you to copy Tendrils for every other spell that was cast this turn. As we all know, Storm is a broken mechanic, and Tendrils will help us see exactly why that is.
Seeing play mainly in Legacy and Vintage, Tendrils is the go-to card for Storm players in older Eternal formats due to the minimal number of spells you need to cast to effectively win the game. Dealing 2 life per copy means you need to play exactly 9 spells before casting Tendrils to defeat your opponent. Due to other cards like Fetch Lands and Force of Will, it's generally safe to assume you may need even less than that. In comparison to Grape Shot, the modern Storm staple, Tendrils requires half as many copies before it's extremely easy to combo off.
Though the interaction is not always relevant, it is also worth noting that you are able to gain life off of Tendrils. Obviously, the ideal situation is to cast Tendrils and win on the spot, but this does give you a few outs if need be. Casting Tendrils to drain your opponent and gain some life back means the next time you storm off, you need less spells to actually win the game. Gaining the life also can help you keep yourself alive long enough to make sure that your plan succeeds.
When talking about Storm cards, it's always important to understand how Storm decks really work. Ideally, the deck is looking to play a large number of cheap or free spells, then cast a few mana enablers and finish off the opponent. The reason this is so important is because without the other support and enabler cards, Tendrils of Agony and potentially the entire Storm mechanic would be significantly less playable.
In Legacy and Vintage, Storm decks run multiple cheap cantrips to help them dig and build up that Storm count. Additionally, the mana enablers like Dark Ritual and Cabal Ritual help ensure the mana is always there to cast the final spell. Some decks also run a combination of cards like High Tide and Turnabout to generate an incredible amount of mana, allowing the win a lot easier. Additionally, cards like Yawgmoth's Will allow the player to combo off even while the cards are in the graveyard, whether they put them there intentionally or not.
Tendrils of Agony is clearly one of the best finishers for Storm decks, but like other Storm cards, it does have its natural predator, Flusterstorm. Generally, counters are not particularly good against the Storm cards themselves, because every copy counts as an individual spell. This means you would have to counter every single instance of that spell to negate that effect. Flusterstorm is really the only way to make that happen, because Flusterstorm has Storm, making it the most effective counter against Tendrils in both Legacy and Vintage.
Storm remains one of the most powerful mechanics in the game, with a bevy of cards pulling wins as quickly as turn 1. And of course, Tendrils of Agony exists as one of the best finishers and all-around potent ways to storm off.
Thanks so much for watching this week's Card Spotlight. If you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Next week, we tackle Burn. The choices are Fireball, Bolt, and Lightning Helix. Thanks so much for watching this week, and we will see you next time.